Hi everybody! Today I want to show you how to make a Minecraft block on a loom. I came up with this idea because I know how much my boys love to play with their Minecraft stuff and they love to decorate. And I also thought that this would be a really cool Christmas ornament. More than likely, if you don't know what Minecraft is, the kids in your life do. And they might be very interested in you making them one of these. I also thought that this would be a great gift idea for the kids to make for their friends. So if you've never worked on a loom before, you might want to give it a try because it is a lot of fun and you can be super creative with it. I'm going to show you step by step on how I made each block. So let's get started. You will need brown, tan, and green yarn, a piece of paper for the filling, scissors, 6 pieces of cardboard cut into 2-inch squares, 1 for each side of the block, a loom hook and yarn needle, and a loom. For this project, we are only going to be using 6 pegs, so it really doesn't matter what size of loom you use, as long as it has 6 pegs. We will be making 6 squares. 1 green square for the top, 4 green, tan, and brown squares for the sides, and 1 tan and brown square for the bottom. All of the squares will be 6 stitches across using 6 pegs and 8 rows down. Let me show you how to do the sides of your block. Each side gets 6 brown and tan rows and 2 green rows. We will be using 2 strings, 1 tan and 1 brown. Then we will give ourselves extra string on the end so we could use it to sew the sides together later. Then we will make a slip knot. Now we put the slip knot over the peg on the side. The next thing we do is take our yarn and wrap it around 6 pegs like this. This is what a knit stitch looks like. You push your wrapped yarn to the bottom and wrap the peg again at the top and pull the bottom loop over the top of the top wrapped string and the peg. When we stitch to the left, the stitches go like this: knit, purl, 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 knit. And that will give you a straight edge on both sides of your block side. The 2 end stitches are always going to be knit stitches when you are knitting to the left. The 4 middle stitches will always be purl stitches when knitting to the left. And this is what a purl stitch is. Put your working yarn over top of the bottom loop like this. Then put your hook under the bottom loop and pull the string under it. This forms another loop. Pull the loop off of the peg and put your new loop on the peg. That is a purl stitch. Now watch as I finish this row. Remember to put 4 purls between a knit on each end on this row. That's 3 purls. And this is 4. And our final stitch is another knit stitch. Push all your loops on your loom to the bottom of the pegs. Now we will start all our stitches going to the right. These are all going to be knit stitches. Wrap your yarn across the top of each of the 6 pegs. Then bring your bottom loops up and over. We continue this pattern until we have 6 rows. Do a purl row. Then do a knit row. Then do a purl row again. Now watch how we count the rows. 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to change colors from the brown and tan to the green, and this is how you do it. I cut both ends of my working strings so that they are long enough to tie a knot in the ends. We will tie both ends of our spool of green yarn onto each of our cut strings. I tie them as close to the pegs as I can, and then I cut them. Now we do 2 rows of green, 1 row of knit stitches, and 1 row of purl stitches. Now it is time to cast off. We begin our cast off by putting our working yarn on top of the second loop on the right peg, and then pulling the bottom loop over top like this. Then we pull the loop off and put it on the left peg. We take the bottom loop and pull it over the top loop. Then we take that loop and put it on the right peg. Watch as I do it again. This will remove our work off of the loom one stitch at a time. Continue this until you get to the last loop. At the last loop, we take it off the loom. We give ourselves a little extra green yarn, cut it, then we take our ends and put it through our last loop and pull it tight. Now we tuck one of our 2 yarn strings on the other end and tie that a couple of times to secure it. Follow these steps to make all 6 blocks. Remember, the top and bottom sides get 8 rows of the same color. Also, give the top and bottom strings about 36 inches in length on one side in order to have enough to sew up the edges of your block. Now this is how we put our block together. Match all the green corners together. Pick which side you like best to face toward the outside of your block. Make sure all the same sides are facing out. Now tie all the corners together. Now sew the green edges with the shorter strings from the corner down to the bottom of the green and back to the corner. Bring all your short strings to the inside of your block. Drop one string from the needle and tuck it under somewhere. Tie it off and then cut it. After all the top green corners are sewn, use your long string to sew along the top edges of the block. This is how it looks when the top and green sides are done. Here is an awesome tip for threading your needle. Cut a small piece of paper to the size of the eye and fold it in half. Then when you thread your needle, lay the 2 end pieces of yarn on the paper like this. Fold the paper over the ends and then push the paper and yarn through the eye. So easy! I take what is left of my long green strings and make a loop on the end so I can hang my block. I decide how long I want my loop and then tie 2 knots and cut off the rest. Another thing that you might want to consider is you could take the string if you're not sure what you will be using it for, and you could tuck it in there, and then if you want to hang it up later, you can untuck it and still hang it up. Now it is time to tie all the corners of the bottom of the block like we did on the top. Once that is done, then we sew all the sides with our shorter strings from the corner to the green, then down to the corner again. Tuck, tie, and cut the extra yarn strings as you go, and save the long strings to sew the bottom. When you sew the bottom, stop when you get 3 sides done. Get your cut 2-inch cardboard pieces and put each piece on the inside wall of each side of the block. You may have to wiggle them in place. Now get your paper and put it in the center to hold the walls in place. Once you are done stuffing your block, you can finish sewing up the last edge. I make a small loop at the end, put my string through it, and tie a knot. And then I run my yarn along the inside edge like this. Then I pull it through, and I cut the strings. And now we are done! If you like this loom craft, here are some of my other loom ideas for future videos. I made an apple. This matches my kitchen. Here is a pumpkin and a jack-o'-lantern, because autumn is my favorite season. These are hot cups of cocoa with marshmallows on top. Makes me feel warm inside. And of course I made some snowmen because they are such happy little guys, and I love to decorate with snowmen. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. I hope you enjoyed watching me make my Minecraft block today, and I hope it inspires you to give it a try too. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Great idea, Mom!
Who is this guy? Looks like a doctor. Is that a doctor? No, this one's his legs fell off. Maybe the doctor will help the zombie. I know the doctor's gonna help the creeper because his back legs fell off. Go play Minecraft.